Welcome back to the ETA Conversions channel, everyone. On this episode, we are going to level the Trans Am. It's an important step in the process of getting the suspension built, the motor installed, frame rails done. What we're going to do here in this episode is I'm going to show you how I leveled the car front to back and side to side, set it up so that I know that I have a very square frame when I'm done. Everything's going to be zeroed out so that I have good measurements to go off of, and I'll show you how we did this. Now, the first thing here, I want to find my height of where I want my suspension to ride, and then that way I can mount my suspension jig in the correct height, and then I can build my suspension mounting points off of that. So right now I'm just looking at it, and I think I want the car to sit about 4 inches off the ground once I'm all done. I put the tires on and put a 4x4 up just to kind of see what it would look like 4 inches off the ground, how the tires would tuck in. These aren't the tires I'm going to use, but they are the same diameter of what I'll be using later on. So once I get that done, I can get this suspension jig mounted up and installed and then bolted down so that it doesn't go anywhere as I'm doing all the work in the future. So I built jigging points for the suspension jig that will sit inside of the frame, and this jig now is solid to the frame. I have these uprights here in the back that go into the frame holes, and then the one farther forward is actually bolted into a point that the car originally came with. Here, I want to also make sure that my jig is center to the vehicle. I don't want the car to dog track later on going down the road. So right now I'm looking to make sure this jig plate is level to the car, and you can see with this laser line it's centered down the vehicle. The center point is where the two plates come together. I have equal measurements, and you can actually see my laser line below coming through the jig plates, which almost has no gap, but it is a good centered jig now. Then I'm going to mount the vehicle or put the car up on jack stands in a level fashion. Okay, so right here I'm putting the jack stands underneath both sides of the front subframe. That is going to be my level point there, and then I'm go ahead and get the rest of the car leveled from here. Okay, trying to level my car so I can weld in the frame rails. Just want to make sure everything's zeroed out as close as possible before doing any of the frame rails, before I do any of the suspension work, so I want to make sure it looks good. Now, I leveled the car out pretty good, but I wanted to check with my laser how well it looked, and I found an issue. If you look at the front of the car, my laser level is right about at the point of the rocker there. All right. But if we go to the back of the door, and we go to the back here, laser level's about 3/4 inch underneath the rocker. I'm like, how's that possible? So I went and measured my rocker. Let me see if I can show you this, what the measurement looks like. And we'll kind of zoom in right there. So if I measure to the rocker, I measure approximately 26 1/8 right there. Now let's go look at the other one. I go to the front of the rocker. I measure right about 26 1/4. Okay, so what's going on? That makes no sense. So had to go back to the drawing board and kind of think this whole thing through. What I found was if I measured my floor with a level, I don't know if you can see that, but my level is completely off. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot. How much is that? Well, easy way to find out was to lift it up till I got a level bubble, and I found it's about 3/4 of an inch. So we're just gonna put this block of wood underneath the level and look at this again. And the bubble is now about level, just a little bit over. So what that means is my floor is not level, and I leveled the car to the floor. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that the car is level, and I'm not going to use the floor as my guide. I could probably take it into consideration and all that stuff, but instead I'm going to level the car in the air so it is a completely level playing field. So, and I'm not going to use the ground as my level point, but because that ground, you know, we could be off from side to side, left and right, front to back, and I don't want to count on that. Then we'll have a twist in the car. So we're going to make sure that the car is level in the air and use a 0 point of the air as level. I don't know if that makes sense, but you'll see as I go through the process. Okay, quick little update there. So the first thing I need to do is get rid of these 4x4s that I cut level to the ground for the car, which gave me my 3/4 of an inch off. So instead of that, I bought adjustable jack stands from Amazon. These are actually RV jack stands to help you level an RV. They're supposed to take 6,000 pounds per jack. I don't know if they'll do that, but that doesn't matter. My car's not 6,000 pounds right now. I have 4 of them, and I am going to use these to level the car. So to level the car, what I do is I'm going to use that front rocker point as my base of what I'm going to level to, and then I'm going to make sure my rocker is level all across, and then I'll check the frame and make sure everything else is level as well. So I speeded this video up so I don't bore you guys with going back and forth and doing all this, but the main thing is to check that level line on the rocker to make sure it is good. And then I'm going to check just a couple other points on my frame to make sure those are level as well. And then we'll get this car leveled front to back. And then we'll also make sure that it is level from side to side. Okay, so let's check the jigging plate and see if the jigging plate is level as well to the car. So the jigging plate, you can see where I welded the squared tube to the plate. It is perfectly straight. So in the back, I leveled side to side as well, and then I will double check that I'm just shooting down center, but the center doesn't matter right now. I'm actually just looking for level left to right. And so here again, if we look under the plate to the square tubing that I welded it to, you can see the square tubing is completely level left to right. Now I also took a digital level on top of the plate after I was done, just to make sure that I was level front to back and side to side, and we were good. It was probably 0.08 degrees, which is, almost zero. So I was pretty happy with the way this leveled out after I was done. So now we'll just check on the rocker, see how it turned out here. Laser line is on the front point of the rocker. That looks really nice. And then as we look back to the back of the rocker, it looks pretty straight. And there's a little bit more of a closer up shot. That laser line is right on that corner of the rocker. And it pretty much follows it all the way through to the back. So that is looking really good. I'm very happy with the way this car leveled out. After I got the rocker leveled and I was happy with where everything was at, I did one more check, and I checked underneath the car at the front subframe, down the center of the car, and to the rear of the frame rail, just to make sure everything was level there too. And you can see just shooting right underneath that rear frame rail, and the bottom of the floor, all those cross members are level, the front subframe's level. So yeah, this car looks great now. It is leveled in the air now. Well, now we can proceed with the next step, and that is to cut some frame rails out and get some new ones in. So stay tuned for that next episode, and I will get that out there. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I hope you guys learned something. Shoot me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this. And I enjoy hearing your comments of what do you think of the project. Hope you guys have a great day. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will keep this adventure going and seeing what else we can come up with. You guys have a good day and stay safe out there, all right?